Hello. Good morning. I'm touching my neck. Now, I'm going to tell you this lymph node. Look at this. It's very swollen. I don't know why, but that's not what we're going to talk about. I couldn't sleep very well. It's like 3 a.m. when I woke up. It's now 6:30. I've been recording a lot of videos for video games, which is fun. I'm going to start down a new path of different skincare products. I just committed to that yesterday. It's a brand called Neora, and I'm very excited. But I'm about to eat breakfast this morning. It's now 6 a.m. Yeah, I think I said that. It's September 12th. And I just saw a video this morning about like pirates, modern day pirates. It's so interesting because I was also watching a lot of stuff about Palestine and Gaza. Human beings are just so interesting. When you don't get wrapped up in your own ego, it's so effortless to understand people. And I think a lot of people struggle to do that. But, like, for example, nobody's really evil or wicked if you see their lived experience. Anyone would probably act the same way they do. And I say that because when you look at some of these pirates from an outside perspective, you're like, wow, this is really messed up. But I think it was like the Somali pirates is what I was looking at, and it's like the fishing that they used to do off the coast got fucked up because of corporate greed a little bit. I don't know if that's the right way to term it, but it's basically other people messing up the system they had to take care of themselves and make money. And that turns into like a harbored anger that transforms into something like piracy, where they're gunning people down and throwing grappling hooks, getting up onto the boats, and then, hijacking or killing people. And then with the Gaza thing, I'm not the most educated about this topic, but without question, Jewish people have been through so much in the past century. And the origin of like terrorist groups comes from a place of usually resentment and bitterness and trauma inflicted by someone else. And it's like, you could call it maybe a desire for revenge, but you could also call it a desire for balance or justice. And human beings were so similar. I mean, you can even play a video game and you'll see the same behavioral tendencies. So when you treat someone a certain way in a video game, they'll treat you a certain way back. If groups of people treat certain people a certain way, or even just apathetically not caring about how their actions affect others, they'll get treated in return in a way that's human. I don't know exactly what defines us because we don't have anything to compare ourselves to right now. We're just humans. Sure, we can compare ourselves to other things in the animal kingdom on planet Earth, but I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing is, like, humans the level of consciousness we have not being, sure, it's greater than a lot of animals, but it's not like we can technologically or spiritually connect with other species in the universe if they exist, which I believe they do. And like one of the factors of the human experience is limitation. It's like a big theme on this human experience is limitation. Limitation to what we know, limitation to what we can perceive, limitation to the idea that our life, our singular life, is all we have. And after it's done, it's over forever. We're not a part of anything bigger. It's very limiting. You have one life to make it good, from your own perspective. But I didn't know, I was watching a clip from the video or movie they made with Tom Hanks about the Somali pirates, and I was just thinking, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting to watch because I feel like people are all the same. But posted a video of Skyrim yesterday. Oh my god. It technically uploaded today. I got my fucking lymph node, dude. But I don't know if I talked to you about this since I made my Crossroads video. I'm choosing to stay in New Mexico, which is not what I wanted to do, but it's what I'm choosing to do. Simply because, don't look at me. Ugh, it feels good. A lot of certain things in my life have been working out, and seeds are starting to sow, and I don't want to start over. I don't desire to be here. I really want to be in Europe. More than anything. And I want to finish my bachelor's degree in Washington State. But for right now, some things have been working out for me in New Mexico, and it would be dumb to just leave. And I can't leave. I don't have the money for it. And money is like what I want more than anything. I really want money. I feel like money would solve all my problems. And I've started to land on a few things that really feel like they're the right things. Personal training, starting my own cleaning business, go-go dancing. I want to get back to that. I stepped away, but please, God, give me an opportunity that's easy to do dancing, go-go dancing at the club, dropping it on the floor, getting rained in dollar bills. Please, God, please make it easy. Amen. Okay. We're going to get it delivered now. Okay. Anyway, the other thing I'm doing now is, I'm going to be a brand partner with this skincare line that I've recently discovered like last month, but it's called Neora. I'm just really excited because, girl, look at this skin. It's not horrible, but I need some help. I got acne. I don't care as much about wrinkles, but I will say this eye I have always had problems with. Not appearance-wise, but I mean like, it's like a little bit, like the eyebrow goes lower a little bit, and it causes a little bit of like seeing problems. And I also end up crying a lot more out of this eye, and it causes a lot of irritation. And so if I could find something to put around my eyes that could help with the irritation I get, that would be nice. My goodness. I really just want to get rid of my acne though. More than anything. And skincare is really important to me. I was trying to figure out, okay, what's important to me? Health, everything related to health, and the way you treat your skin, not only with what you're consuming, eating, but what you're putting on it matters. And my health is also, of course, my body and physical performance, etc. My hair isn't like unhealthy. My dad is just super bald, so I have a lot more hair than my dad did at my age, just because I use minoxidil. And hair is a different thing for me from other parts of aging, like hair loss is a different part for me, because I always like to get to the core. I'm not a person who's like, oh, I want to look younger because, I don't know, I just do. Okay, that's not a good enough why. And why are we putting value over youth over age, you know? Like, I always think in the bigger picture, and I don't just want to not have wrinkles because I think they're ugly. Like, why are they ugly? Why do we perceive people that way? Why is that an idea we have in our head? Do you have an answer for me? You know what I mean? And so I always get to that point of like, why? Why is it? I've always been like that, like asking questions. But with hair, the reason it's different for me is because I really feel like hair, more than any other part of our body, is such an expression of who we are. You can do a lot of things with hair. You can grow it a certain length. I mean, even if you just look at like drag queens, for example, as performers, they have all these different wigs. That's why I think like wigs are a great alternative if you want hair, because you can style it in a certain way. You can put it in a certain way. It can be colored a certain way. It can completely change how you show up and who you are expressed to the world. And when you lose your hair, I think any person, especially women who go through chemo and lose their hair, or men and women who have bald genetics, understand that it feels like you lose a piece of yourself because you don't have really any options of customization when you don't have hair. Your options are limited, and it feels like the way you can express yourself is also limited. And hair is just such a different thing like that. And so it is one of those things where I'm like, I do want this, and I do like this. And I've been focused a little bit more on what I've been using the past like year or so, and trying to take care of my hair. I really like having blonde hair. And blonde hair is also very damaging to have. It's like a double-edged sword. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna eat some eggs this morning. I have quite a bit to do. I'm gonna make a little money. I'm really, really happy about this. But things are going well. I'm trying not to hyperfixate and worry about money, because that makes it worse. Somebody just asked me if I would sell them my dirty socks. You know I'm gonna hop on that fucking deal, baby girl. If I don't have money and somebody wants to buy my dirty fucking socks, girl, I'm not gonna judge. Okay? Who wouldn't want to buy my dirty socks? This angelic, beautiful body and the socks that I wear. You want to buy those I'll sell them for $50. I need the body. Okay. Somebody literally asked me that. Who would say no? Why are you going to deny some weird man of his obsession with twinks in their dirty socks when you could just let him have it, get a little bit of money? Okay, you're not poor no more. You can put food on the table. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Okay, if I get offered the opportunity and I need money, girl, I'm doing it. I'll tell you how that goes, okay? Maybe I'll start a whole business. A website online. Sexy twink boy sells his socks. $50 a piece. I'll write a little thank you card with the mail. I'll put a little thank you card. And I'll kiss the card with red lipstick. Somebody will eat that up. Look, men are very easy. They're very simple and they're very easy. Okay? Is it not true that like 100% of men will invest money into something because they're not thinking with their head, they're thinking with, you know what? Think about it. Every man on this planet has made a poor financial decision, because they're choosing their own instincts over what's logical. And last I checked, we lived in a patriarchy where most of the money is in the hands of the man. So let them spend it however they want and adapt and adjust, baby girl. Okay? My dad would be disappointed. He would be. Well, my mom might think I'm resourceful and opportunistic, but she would probably be a little bit disappointed too. But she's not going to be disappointed when I show up with cash money and fat checks, okay? And I'm buying her dinner. She's like, how you get all this money? You just mind your business, Mom. Look, I've already got 4 sources of income. 3. But I want a 4th. Because I like working as a go-go dancer. I could do that. I could work as a go-go dancer and sell the underwear I dance in for like $100 after every night. Buy the underwear for $20, sell it for $100. Boom. I think that's a good idea. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do, okay? It's hard out here. I don't like having to choose between paying my bills and eating. I really don't. It sucks. I've been poor like my whole life. And if the way out of poverty is giving some crazy boys dirty socks, girl, I just might. I don't want to interact with them. I don't want to like them in my life unless they've got lots of money. If you got lots of money, you want to take me on a vacation, I'll bring 10 pairs of dirty socks. Let you enjoy those in the cabin while I go sunbathing on the Caribbean beach. Okay? Go skydiving. Girl. What have we come to? This is why we need women in power. Okay? Give all the women the money, give all the women the power. Then divas like me will have to sell dirty socks to get by. If you don't like it, well, that's why. We need a change in this world. Because the thing is, women are programmed for unity. Women are programmed to support, not support, but and I don't want to say women's brains are different from men's, but a lot of women tend to be more feminine, how they show up in the world, and feminine people care more about working together, about empathy, about compassion, uniting, working as a team versus competing and working by yourself is considered more masculine. And when it comes to elements, earth, water, fire, air, earth and water are feminine. Earth represents materialistic things like money, resources, food, etc. And water represents emotion. And so those are the realms of feminine energy. And if women have power and they had a lot of money, do you really think we would have a shitty education system if women were in charge of all the money? Do you really think that anybody would not have healthcare if women had all the money? Do you really think that planet Earth would be burning down. Motherfucking Earth would be burning down. And we'd be getting gaslit. Oh, global warming isn't real. Ooh, loo. Do you really think that would be the case? You think women with money and power would really let Mother Earth crumble? Most of our global issues, I think, could be completely solved if women had money and power. And considering Earth is a feminine element, they're supposed to have the money, materialistically have the power. Somewhere along history's lines, that got pulled away. And we've been in a shithole ever since. Okay. But masculine energy is about air and fire. So what is that? That's like invention, innovation, creativity. Creativity can also come from a place of water and emotion. But fire is like an interesting form of creativity too. Fire is like the spirit and the spirit really. Water is like the heart. Earth is like the body. Air is the mind. Fire is the spirit. So the mind and the spirit are considered masculine. The body and the heart are considered feminine. Not to say that women are mindless, no. There are a lot of women who their purpose on this earth is to break that binary, and that's why it's important not to box people in. Like for me, for example, I'm a very feminine man, and so what's more important to me is like my heart and my body rather than my mind. My spirit's important, I guess, but I don't care much about the thoughts, girl. No, thoughts are important. But anyways, there are a lot of women on this planet who their purpose here is either related to fire and passion and everything associated with fire, or air. So that maybe they're inventors or intellectual or philosophers, stuff like that. And the reason people exist like this outside of a binary is because we're not supposed to be in a binary, where all the women are just like body and heart, and all the men are mind and spirit. Or mind and passion, whatever you want to. I don't know how to compartmentalize fire. But we're supposed to be on a spectrum. Everything's supposed to be different. There's supposed to be deviations and people who are unique and different, every combo that you could imagine, so that people can bring their own interesting perspectives and nuances to the world as the world grows. That's like the whole point. And so if there were no women who were in the element of air, we would never have the unique perspective connected to what it means to live a life for an intellectual pursuit as a woman and follow your mind and allow that to be your greatest gift to the world as a woman. We would never have the specific power and importance that comes from that if everybody fit into a box. And if everyone fit into a box, then I would be a straight, neurotypical, boring boy. but I'm not. I'm fruity. I'm fruity. And I'm also very feminine. I have an orange here. But yeah, I really do feel like that's my purpose. And trans people are, I don't want to be like, trans people, queer people in general are an example of the human race going into the fourth dimension. What that means is when you perceive things in the fourth dimension, it's on a spectrum. So there's no black and white. It's fluid. And you can see all the different colors, and they all can connect to one another, and everything is so varied, and there's not lines between things. And that's really hard for humans to wrap their brain around, because it's only easy for us to understand things if we can see them in black or white. And if we're going to evolve consciousness as a species, we have to understand that things are never black and white, unless you don't have the brain power to conceptualize higher thinking, which is seeing the world in a spectrum. Empathy allows you to do that a lot too. But like when we look at trans people, their deviation from the binary, just in their existence, as well as all queer people deviate from the binary. And that's to give humans, of course, humans are always afraid of things they don't know or that are different. And so that's why there's so much hatred towards anything that's different for the past, like, literally fucking centuries. But when you stop being afraid of things that are different and you start having acceptance and understanding, you can start to unlock things in your brain where you're not limited by just right or left or up or down or front or back. But you can actually see, oh, there's a whole array of different possibilities here for how to exist as a human. And people have their own blueprint within that I believe is planted in themselves, that helps them understand who they are and what they're here for and stuff like that. But like for me, I had a identity therapist, and I don't really identify as a woman, and I don't feel like I have to fucking identify as a woman just because I really resonate with femininity as an energy. But there are people like me who are born as a male who resonate a lot with femininity and want to identify as a woman and look like a woman physically. And that's allowed. And then there's also people who maybe they identify with, they're born as a male and they identify with another thing. So you're born as a male, you identify with feminine energy. You identify as a man. That's me. I'm a feminine man. Get mad about it. Men shouldn't be feminine. Men should be masculine. Okay, who made that rule? Women shouldn't be masculine. Women should be feminine. Who made that rule? Somebody who's thinking in a lower thought process, and that's okay. The brain's not as big as yours. Okay? The truth is, you can be whatever you want to be. You can look however you want to look. You You can do your hair however you want to do your hair. Express yourself. Be yourself. Have fun. Okay? And then after all that, you're going to figure out from your own internal passion, especially once your brain is fully developed, you'll be able to figure out, okay, where you feel the most resonant. Because after your brain fully develops, you start to approach your Saturn return, which will pull you back to who you are as a person. Saturn return is when Saturn comes back around to the place it was when you were born. And it's a spiritual thing where you usually can reconnect with why you're here and what your purpose is and who you're meant to be. A lot of that will be connected to who you are as a little kid. But yeah, I don't understand. Well, I do understand why people hate trans people. It's because they're just stupid and can't wrap their brains around like things that aren't dense and simple. If it's complicated, they can't wrap their brains around it. That's okay. There's a lot of people like that. You know, you can't control them, and they're gonna think the way they do, and they can also cause a lot of damage and harm, especially working in unity with other dumb people. But at the end of the day, just keep showing up and existing as yourself, because queer people have always existed on planet Earth. And over time, it's become more and more visible, and people are more comfortable. But I really feel like gay people, queer people, are the gateway to humans reaching the next level of thinking. If you think Elphaba is evil and Glinda is good, and the wizard is good, you're missing the whole point of Wicked, the Wizard of Oz. And you're also not understanding that the point of the story behind Wicked is to see people holistically on a spectrum of good and evil, not black and white. And if you can see the whole picture, you can understand maybe it's a wheel, okay? And different people fall on different sides. And you could call one side of the wheel good, you could call one side of the wheel evil, but then you could flip it around and look at it from the opposite perspective, and you might see it in the complete opposite way. And so, what do you decide from there? You decide that it depends on which way you look at it, and it's not simple. And it's multi-dimensional. And the key here is empathy and compassion, and not judgment, and your own personal perspective. That's not easy. This is why I like to make videos, because this is what I like to do instead of meditating. You know what? I never delete any videos. Ever. And I also like to, allow my views to be moldable over time as I try to make sense of the world. Because other people are very intelligent, and, you know, they have a lot of valuable things to help you understand the world more. But I do believe that if you look at anyone's perspective, you can find a reason to believe that they're right. And it may contrast with someone else's version of what's right and what's wrong. But it's not about picking one person to be right and one person to be wrong. It's about looking at the whole picture and understanding where people are coming from. trying to make sense of it from there is difficult. But that's all I'm going to talk about today on September 12th, 2025. And I'm going to go eat some eggs and start manifesting my rich husband. Please, God, give me a rich husband. Please, God. I want a rich husband. He spends money on me. He does vacations. He's got a nice house, big house, and it's got a hot tub, and it's got a gym and a hot tub. And there's some dogs. Maybe something cute and a little bit chunky. And then I lounge around at the pool all day. And he's obsessed with me and wants to take me out to dinner and take me on vacation. And I just don't do anything. I just am an elite diva 24/7. This is the greatest life that I could ever ask for. Okay? Please. Thank you. Okay. We're going to hope this dream comes true, okay? There's a man out there who can fulfill it. Anyway. Bye.